Welcome back to the Mindset Special Ed channel, where we explore the right tools, real conversation, real stories, and practical strategies for helping students with special needs to be successful in education. So today we have in our Miss Juarez, and she is a dedicated special education teacher, and she has served in several positions, especially in leadership, and currently she's back to in the field of teaching. So let's welcome Miss Juarez to the Mindset Special Ed studio. Miss Waters, you're welcome to the Mindset Special Ed studio.
Thank you. All right. My name is Shanti Waters. I'm a special education teacher, as Dean said. This is my 18th year, so I'm going into my 18th year. But so my matriculation through special education. So it started off, I taught middle school special education for 5 years, and then after that 5th year, I went on to teach high school special education for 3 years, and then I moved into the role of academic coach / testing coordinator.
Okay.
So I did that for 3 years, and then I was assistant principal of curriculum instruction at a high school as well for 3 years. And so at that time, I was like, okay, time to make a little shift. I'm ready to make a little shift because I was at the same school, so I served as, all these roles at the same school.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
So after that 3rd year, my superintendent kind of came to me and he was like, there was a grant funded position open to work with the Stop the Violence grant.
Okay.
And so he asked if I was interested in becoming the project director to oversee, that particular project. And so I did that for 3 years as well.
Wow.
So we got to that 3rd year with our grant was going to be ending. And so we were going to get a new superintendent. And they didn't know if they were going to reapply for the grant to bring it back. And so kind of I was in limbo. I was like, hold on, am I going to have a job next year? So I was like, okay, what am I going to do?
Ms. Warren, so what inspired you to pursue special education initially?
Okay, so my cousin who I grew up with on my dad's side, he and I were 5 days apart. So our birthdays are in December. And so we grew up together, and he was seemingly normal until he was about 10. He started having a lot of seizures. And so he had one particularly bad seizure, and it caused him to be, he lost some, oxygen to his brain. So he became delayed, like from the age of 10 onward. And so he was in school in Rock Hill, and he had the most amazing people. My uncle raised him as a single parent, so he had the most amazing special ed teachers that worked with him. He was a self-contained student,
okay.
So he was living in an assisted living facility, like with other people just like him. And when we were 23, he had a bad seizure, and the people in the home with him, they didn't know how to help him, so he passed away. So he was kind of my motivation for going into SPED, because I saw the amazing people. I was able to grow up with that, to see how much progress he was making with his disability, and so that kind of inspired me to go into special education.
Oh, that's great. I see. So when you started providing the services to students with special needs, what were some of the strategies that you were putting in place to help them thrive in education?
Okay, so when I first started, I'm gonna be honest, this is crazy because it seemed I have a gift with I hate to call kids bad, but the kids who have some behavioral challenges.
Okay.
That's kind of my target audience. So I was always kind of placed with the males, black males, whomever, the ones who were giving people some behavioral problems. So I kind of took it with that. So my main thing, what I'm really good at, is relationships. So I'm really good at the relationship piece. So I build the relationships with my students, parents, and also my peers that I have to work with. I think that has been integral to my success over the years. Very integral to my success over the years.
So with regards to how you collaborate with your general education teachers, how are you doing it?
So sometimes you're blessed with the opportunity to have this common planning times, but if you don't have common planning times, I always try to make time to stop by, even if it's right at the end of school, if it's at the top of the morning, just to kind of make contact to see what's going on with my kids, to kind of check in with them to see how I can better support them. And then we do a lot of PLCs at my school now. So the people that I'm on, we do teams. So last year I was on one team. So that kind of worked out perfectly because I was on the team with all the teachers that I co-taught with, and other teachers who I had to work with, and who my students, they went into their classes. So that worked out fine. So that'll be kind of interesting for this year, since I'm doing 3 grade levels. So I'll have to kind of figure out, how I'm going to be able to support all of my kids throughout those grade levels, and, kind of best work with those teachers.
So in the role of your administration period, what support were you giving to students with special needs?
What's what now?
In the role of administration, you've moved from the classroom to occupy a role in the administration, right? So what were some of the support systems that you were putting in place to help students with special needs?
Oh, that was really good because the thing about special ed, this is one thing for anybody who is thinking about going from the classroom into leadership, they're never going to let you get away from special ed. They're going to put you over that department where if you go into like the assistant principal role, you're never going to get away with this. So, since I had that experience, it was easy for me to work with those teachers. So a lot of my PLCs, they revolved around supporting special ed teachers, making sure that their needs were met, making sure that their mental was intact because that is a very taxing job mentally. So a lot of my PDs and my PLCs, they were based around assisting our special ed teachers and making sure that they were fully supported.
Okay. Yeah, so let's look at some of the support systems that you put in place to help the teachers, special education teachers, students with special needs, and some of the general education teachers.
Okay, so one thing that I put in place was to make sure that all of our teachers, we did like a team approach. So just like for example, if you were the math teacher and I'm the special ed teacher and we're co-teaching, I made sure that they were on the same team. So that way, whenever they went to their PLCs, they were getting the same information. Whenever we had our MTSS meetings, we were talking about our same students. And I also made sure that they developed the caseloads accordingly as well too. So that kind of took quite a bit of work, but we really experienced the most success when we did the team approach like that with our students because you were able to be close with everybody. The people on your team, you was able to check in with them. You guys had the same planning time, so you were able to plan together. Exactly. So it worked really well.
Oh, then you really play an important role when you were serving when you were in the field of administration, because you didn't. I wouldn't say you didn't turn your back on the students with special needs or special education teachers. You actually developed a support system that was really beneficial to them, and that's a good point.
Yes, so, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, any success story with that?
I think like our students, student achievement, it definitely went up. We had a lot more students who, at that time, we were working with like our math with our EOC, our end of course with Algebra 1 that has changed now, but we had about a 70% passage rate, which it was, we were in the probably about 55% passage rate. So we went from about a 55% passage rate up to 70% within, when we went to the team approach. And so I think that was my most success that I feel like I've experienced as far as implementing like a program or a best practice.
Were there some challenges that you faced?
Yes, there was a lot of pushback because anytime you make a major change like that, especially involving the master schedule, changing things around, because with that, the part that I didn't discuss came with when you do the team approach, you need to be by your team. Exactly. So so that required a lot of moving, and so people were not happy with that. But however, when we experienced the success, they were like, okay. They had to see the results though to be able to fully get on board with that as we were experiencing that success. So it was a lot of work on the back end. It was a lot of griping and complaining, but it ended up working out really well.
So what changed? What changed? You moving from the administration role to back to classroom.
Okay,
what led to that?
Well, after my grant was over, because our grant was on a 3-year cycle, so we were at the last year of our grant, and we were getting a new superintendent in my district, and I didn't know, some superintendents, they have different initiatives that they support and some things that they don't support, so I didn't know if they were going to bring the grant back, and so I decided to not sign my contract because I wasn't going to be in limbo as far as like by my career and everything like that. And so I just had been working with my mentor, who was the executive director of special services at that time. And so she had asked me to work with a team of teachers in her district on ed plans, since we were, new to that and just kind of, doing some trainings and things over the summer. So I did that last summer. And so, from that relationship with her and the teachers with that, she asked me had you ever thought about, maybe doing contract teaching, going back into the classroom?
Yep.
And so I was like, heck no, no, I hadn't thought about it,
Yeah.
And so she's like, well, you should consider it. She said, I have a good school that I think that you would, do well at. And so I was like, okay. I said, I'll meet with the principal. I'll go do a school visit and see how it goes. And so I met with the principal. Absolutely love the principal. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a go. So this past year, I taught 8th grade, and so we had a really wonderful year, and it went really well.
Okay. So what advice would you give to other special education teachers in the middle school level?
Oh, middle school level, I think relationships, the most important thing, relationships. Once you get a relationship established with your students and your parents, whatever goes, anything will go. If I have any discipline problems with my students, I can always call their parents or text them from my Text Now app and let them know what's going on. I don't ever have any issues as far as like, having problems with parents or parents wanting to, be combative about me having to address their kids. And also, it does give you the flexibility, having those relationships, it gives you the flexibility to be able to say some things to kids, not bad things, but say some things to kids that other people wouldn't be able to say. You're able to reach them in ways that I feel like other people couldn't reach them. So like, just say for instance, they might not respond or change the behavior for you, but if and not that I applaud this now, and I don't encourage this with kids either, but if I tell them to do something, they'll just do it because the relationship has been established, it's already there. And so yeah.
All right. So a lot of people are having so many misconceptions about resource classroom. So what do you have to tell those people? There are a lot of misconceptions. So how do you address those misconceptions?
I love to, at the beginning of the year, or you mean like with students or parents?
Parents, both general.
Okay.
Because most teachers, let me say general education teachers, parents, administrators, or some other professional, they are having it in mind that we the resource teachers, we don't really do a lot. There's nothing. It's like maybe we're just doing babysitting and those kind of stuff. So what would you say to them for them to really know that there are a lot of things or a lot of beneficial things that are happening in the resource classroom towards students with special needs?
I think you can combat that easily with making sure that you have a rock solid syllabus. Just making sure that they know that you are serious about your job so that they take you more seriously as well too, and explain to them like kind of when they come into open house and things like, all right, this is how our year is going to go, this is what we're going to do, this is kind of how I formulate my class, this is kind of what we're going to do day to day. Just having basic conversations like that, letting the parents know what's going to happen, letting the parents know that you support their kids, letting the parents know that just because they have a disability, that doesn't necessarily define them. They can do amazing things. And so I know I had a lot of success in high school when I taught special education. I had students go to college on scholarships and everything like that. Like some of my athletes and things like that. I let them know that at the end of the year, your senior year, when you do your summary of performance, you can take that summary of performance to your college, to disability service, and you can still continue your services in college and still be successful and a productive member of society. So like just having conversations like that, telling my student athletes especially success stories about my kids who have gone on, they have bachelor's degrees, they have master's degrees, they're very successful. Just letting them, that gives them hope as well too.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, thank you very much, Ms. Juarez, for coming for us to have this discussion. It clearly shows that you have a lot of experience and you have actually impacted a lot of benefits in the lives of students with special needs, and that is very good. I really appreciate that. So before we bring this discussion to an end, do you have any question for me?
I do. I would love to know like what's next for you, like in special education. Are you looking forward to branching out?
Okay. Thank you very much. I actually have in mind to continue in this field because I'm even coming out with articles that are actually bringing out possible solutions to help students with special needs difficulties. I recently I'm about to publish an article on reading difficulties, the practical strategies that you put in place to remediate students with special needs that are having challenges in reading. Yeah, and also I'm updating myself or upgrading myself when it comes to the field of special education.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and the rationale behind all these things I'm doing, let me say this podcast, is just to advocate on behalf of students with special needs, because a lot of people out there don't really know the talent that is hidden in the lives of students with special needs. So we are just creating awareness on behalf of students with special needs.
Love that.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Do you have any question, or that's it?
That's it. That's my main thing. I wanted to know, like, what's your pathway? What are you looking forward to in the future?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
I love that.
I love helping students with special needs, because will you remember that? Let me let you know this. There was a day I told a student, one of my students, that I have a podcast that I'm creating awareness on behalf of students with special needs. And they watched my video and they were like, that's a good thing, Mr. Dim. Just keep doing it. And what I have to put in my mind is consistency. Yes. You see, so looking at this, will you even believe that students with special needs will even give me this kind of motivation?
Right.
Yeah, they have a lot of hidden talent in them.
Yes.
So I have passion in helping them.
I do have one more question though.
Okay.
Like, what's your area? Like, what is your focus? Like, what's your favorite? Like, do you delve into math a lot, reading, writing? What's your favorite?
So I would say my favorite is math, but I actually specialize in math and also in reading as well. So when I'm working with my students, I always help them in math more and also in reading, because I did so many courses when it comes to reading intervention.
Okay.
And I've served the whole year as a reading interventionist.
Okay.
That's helping students to remediate reading difficulties. And my bachelor's degree is in special education and mathematics.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, that's it.
Yeah, math is my favorite too. That's my absolute favorite.
And I did Master of Philosophy in Special Education as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's it. Yeah. And so yours is what?
With my bachelor's degree, it's in Bachelor of Science in Special Education.
Okay, all right. So yours is kind of science, right? You love science?
No, not really. I think just because I had to take so many, I think it's like that just because I had to take so many science classes at my university that I was at. That's why I worked out that way. No, now I love math.
Yeah.
Math is my favorite.
Oh, you love math, right?
Math is my absolute favorite.
Exactly.
It's my favorite.
And when you are a special education teacher and you have passion for math too, it's kind of beneficial to the student, because most of them kind of afraid of maths.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I love finding like creative ways to show them how to, how to solve problems or whatever they're working on with math too. Like just kind of always thinking about some type of way to kind of make sure that they get it, So I love this.
Yeah. And my producer too, he's about to publish an article.
Oh, math?
Yeah. Like, advocating on behalf of students with special needs. So we are working on a lot of articles just to publish, so that our colleagues can also have access to those papers or articles to see some of the strategies or practical strategies that have been beneficial to us in our journey of special education.
So he's a special education teacher, isn't he?
Yeah, from middle school.
I didn't know that. Okay.
So we are not he also did special education and specialized in social studies, like history and those.
I love that. I think after I said after this year, I was talking to like my principal and everybody there, like they don't feel like I'm walking in my purpose. I feel like I am.
You are.
I feel like I am. Like leadership is cool, but I do prefer being with the students. I'm not gonna even lie. I prefer being with the kids. But I did say I might think about if the opportunity presents itself to do go like director of special services, but like that route. I might think about it. But I like for now I love being with the kids.
Yeah. He didn't want me to talk about the doctorate. We are both doing it.
Okay.
The doctorate in special education.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll collaborate with you.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
So exciting.
All right. So is that all the questions?
That's all I have.
Okay, no problem. We are looking forward to have you another time again, so that we can have you with another teacher.
Yeah, continue our dialogue. I love that. This has been really good.
Yeah.
And I love talking to people who I can speak the language with, because that's hard too sometimes. Sometimes we get a bad rap, I think, sometimes with special education teachers. Sometimes, not all. I think it has shifted some now, but we get a bad rap sometimes. It's because they think they don't do nothing. They just teach. They just special. You know what I mean? They think, but it is the hardest job ever.
Yeah.
You really have to be sharp.
That's what I was saying.
To do their paperwork, you gotta be sharp. I don't care what nobody say. You need to be sharp.
Yeah.
You have to be. In my opinion, I think you gotta be sharp. And when I used to have to hire for my for the department and stuff like that, I only want the sharpest people. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't want nobody who been like if you been. No, I don't. If you not sharp, if you don't show me that you sharp, I don't want you. Because I believe our kids deserve the best.
Yeah,
they deserve the best, and
Yeah,
I want them to have the best,
Yeah.
and that's just how I feel about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
All right. Thank you very much for listening to us, and also thank you, Ms. Waters, for making time to come for us to have this fruitful discussion.
Thank y'all.
All right. Yeah. And to our listeners, please stay connected with the Mindship Special Ed channel for more content like this. And please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Thank you.